Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Friday, September 20th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with ratings news. AEW Dynamite this week on TBS drew an audience of 687,000 viewers according to Programming Insider. That's down 4% from last week's audience of 716,000. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .22, slightly up from last week's rating of .21. The episode ranked number 2 for the evening in the demographic among original cable programming. TNA Wrestling presented Impact Wrestling last night on Access TV, featuring matches taped on Sunday in San Antonio, Texas. In the main event, Masha Slamovich and the Hardys defeated Tasha Steelz and the System in a mixed 6-person tag team match.
Time to get extreme on Impact! Swanton Bomb! Slamovich and the Hardys win!
Here are your winners, Masha Slamovich and the Hardys!
We saw everything and anything in this one.
During an in-ring promo segment, both Joe Hendry and Frankie Kazarian declared their intention to pursue the TNA World title, leading champion Nick Nemeth to set up a match for next week, pitting Kazarian against Hendry, with the winner getting a shot at the title at Bound for Glory. Matt Cardona had his first singles match in TNA since January 2023, getting himself disqualified for using a steel chair against his opponent Rhino. After the match, Cardona was chokeslammed by PCO.
It's PCO! PCO waited for the perfect time to strike! Well, so much for being patient, Tom! He was patient. He could have come out here the second Matt Cardona entered the impact zone. Oh, now look at this. Go for the PCO salt, and Cardona rolls out of the ring. Thinking better of it. Wisely, Matt Cardona getting out of the ring, out of the way of this freak.
In other results, Mike Santana beat JDC in a Texas Death Match. Knockouts Tag Team Champion Spitfire defeated NXT's Kendall Gray and Carly Bright, and AJ Francis and Casey Navarro went over Sinner and Saint. And Ring of Honor streamed last night on Honor Club, featuring matches taped September 12th in Dayton, Ohio, and on August 31st in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. In the main event, ROH World Tag Team Champions Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara beat the Dark Order in a non-title Proving Ground match. In another Proving Ground match, ROH Women's World TV Champion Red Velvet defeated Allison Kay. In other results, The Infantry beat the Spanish Announce Project, and Preston Vance beat Brandon Cutler. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.